Hey guys, this is Coach OK or Miss OK. I'm teaching you all how to create a value scale. I printed out this worksheet because normally I would just hand out this worksheet for you all in class, but this time around we're going to create one in our sketchbook, okay? So we're going to be going off of this. So you will need a ruler, your sketch pencils, and possibly a blending sum or an eraser just to kind of have around, okay? So I now have a blank sheet of white paper. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to create 5 rows of 6 boxes. So I'm going to use one of my pencils right now to match up. Okay, so the next I'm gonna split this into 5 rows. So let me see if I can measure it out accurately. So I think what I'll do is to where it's like this. So you now have your raise that up just a little bit. Now have your value scale box. Next thing you would want to do is now split this into 6 boxes. So I'm gonna just kind of estimate. I'm gonna use my ruler. Okay, so you're getting something kind of roughly like this. Mine is not as perfect as I'd like it to be, but that's all right. Make sure you put in your name, and then if you're 5th or 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade visual. We'll mark it right over here. You can see that. Okay. So the next, you're going to label shading, hatching, cross hatching, stippling, and scribbling. And then you're going to want to label it value chart because it'll be actually okay. So you'll label what you're going to be doing here, and then I'm going to show you an example of how to do your value chart right over here. So as for shading, so we're going to be going from darkest to lightest, so you can understand how value works with this, okay? So we're gonna do traditional shading on this one. And now if you got one of those 8-pack or 9-pack sketch pencils, you would want to use like your darkest pencil. So since I'm at home, I am using a 6B, but if you have an 8B, I would say you go ahead and use an 8B or a 6B pencil. So for my shading on this part, I'm gonna hold the middle of my pencil and I'm gonna go ahead and shade this box dark. So then the next one here, I would say you can use like, you know, a 6B or a 5B. Do that there. And then make sure this one is going to be lighter than this one. So then the next one here, you can probably use like a 4B or a 5B. I do have a 4B pencil, so I will go ahead and use my 4B and making sure that I'm going lighter than this one. So as you can see here, you notice that this is lighter than this one. Then when you go to your next one, you want to make sure this one is lighter than that one. So I'd say you could probably use a 3B or a 2B pencil. So when you're using a 3B or a 2B, I think I'm going to use a 2B. I just need to find it. So I'm using my 2B pencil. I'm going to go ahead and go lighter here. So then when you have your next one, you could probably use an HB, which is the lightest one. And this one you can also use an HB or an F. So I'm gonna grab my my HB pencil, which HB, y'all, is like our school pencils. So I'm gonna be using the regular school pencils. So then the next one is hatching, which hatching, y'all, is basically parallel lines going over each other. So I have to just make sure I kind of see those lines, because hatching is just that. It's just parallel lines over each other. So as you can see here, I'm using my 6B pencil. Then I'm gonna grab my 4B, or well, I can actually still use my 6B since it's just got to make sure I'm not pressing so hard on it, as you can see here. Actually go darker here. Then I'm gonna grab 4B or 5B. Parallel lines there, and then I can just go ahead and just lightly shade it on top just to show that value change. Okay. Next, is cross-hatching, and cross-hatching is when you're doing perpendicular lines over each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my lines here on top using my 6B or an 8B pencil. Then you cross them just like that. And you could, if you want to, you can lightly shade it on top to kind of show that dark value change. Okay, so then next on that, I can use a 5B or a 6B and do the same thing, but remember you have to be lighter. So I'm gonna just kind of do the lines a little bit more spread apart since it's my darkest. But I'm gonna just kind of go all over. You're seeing that that light change. Now the next one over, I'm going to use a 4B pencil. So next is stippling. Stippling is the one that is like dots that you would want to do. So you once again you will grab your 6B pencil. What I suggest is kind of do it like this. For the darkest side, because I don't want you spending, you know, too much time doing dots all over. My little cheat method with that is, since it's just doing value changes, is just kind of just shade on top. Where I can still at least see the dots. I gotta at least see the dots with that when it comes to stippling. And just go over on top. And 3B or 2B, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of shade on top of it. So then we reach to our last one with the scribbling. Scribbling is exactly that. You of course grab your 6B, 8B or 6B. Just press as all right. So now you got your value charts, okay? You can do that. Make sure you put your name, 5th or 6th period. Once you're done with this, upload it to your Class Dojo digital portfolio. And that's about it. Make sure you have these labeled. This is how you kind of create your own value chart in your sketchbook. If If you have any other questions for me, you can always email me or send me a message on Hangouts. But thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you. Bye.